ฮัลโหลครับเอาล่ะเดี๋ยวสลับหน้าจอแล้วเนาะโอเคก็วันนี้ Genshin Impact กันนะครับกับเนื้อเรื่องของตัวของวาก้ามาจะได้ไม่เสียเวลาผมเริ่มเลยดีกว่านะครับกับเนื้อเรื่องของวาก้าเนาะใครสุ่มมาแล้วนี่ก็มาขิงกันได้เนาะไม่เจอเวนตีก่อนหรอต้องบอกไว้ก่อนนะครับว่าผมอาจจะไม่รอตัวละครพูดจบอะไรอย่างเงี้ยนะถ้าเกิดผมอ่านจบผมก็ไปวอร์ดดิ้งต่อไปเลยนะครับ
Welcome back, old friend. And how should I be addressing you these days? The honorary knight of Mondstadt? The Tumaini of Natlan? Or the great hero of Nodcry?
Well, you sure have your finger on the pulse. We've barely caught our breath since
News travels fast on the wind. But before I can turn your tales into tunes, I need to hear them from the horse's mouth. My wine and my lyre are at the ready. So please, traveler, take a seat and tell... Amazing! Incredible! The Rahier of Solnari and the Doctor? Truly a tale for the ages! So I'm guessing the Wild Hunt is a thing of the past now that you've defeated the Rahier of Solnari?
Seems that way. We were kind of focused on dealing with the Doctor, though.
Well, that's good to hear. Hey, now that the Northern Abyss calamity is finally resolved, Varka must be getting ready for the triumphant return of his expedition, right? I haven't seen him in the longest time. He must have so many stories to share.
Hooray! Paimon was wondering about that, too. He did call you Barbados. But weren't you still fast asleep back when he was in Mondstadt?
Let's call it half asleep. I was resting my eyes in the Thousand Winds Temple one day when I heard a commotion outside. It was a young knight who had journeyed there in search of trials and oracles after hearing some tall tales at the local tavern. In fact, all that awaited him were moss-covered walls and an angry ruin guard. But he seemed completely unfazed, laughing heartily as he sent the ruin guard's missiles flying off into the horizons.
Huh! They must have been making quite a racket if it was enough to wake up the tone-deaf bard.
Yeah, it sounded...
Hey! Is that all you've got?
ใครอ่ะ
Oh, bring it on!
like that.
มันชื่อว่าอะไรนะ โรฮานปะ
Giving up already? You're not half as tough as Varka said.
A young knight of Favonius trekking out to the Thousand Winds Temple in search of adventure.
A bard in green clothes. Does this mean... Oh, you're Venti? I was just wondering how I was gonna track you down.
Oh! So you were looking for the tone-deaf bard? Strange place to start your search.
Hold on. Blonde hair, white hair. You must be the honorary knight, and Paimon! Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lowen, Vice Captain of the 5th Company of the Knights of Favonius, and a member of the Expeditionary Force. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
อ๋อ โลเฮน ผมก็โรฮาน
Oh, so you're part of the expedition, huh? Right. So that's why
That's probably because when the wild hunt was still running rampant, I spent most of my time out on my own, making mincemeat. Then, once the wild hunt calmed down, I got sent back to Mondstadt. Mixed blessing, if you ask me.
No wonder we never saw you while we were dealing with the doctor. So, why did...
Deliver some letters. There's one for the Knights of Favonius, one for the church, another for the Dawn Winery, at least 10 of them in total.
Jeez, how many people has he sent to deliver his mail now? Mika, Inefa, Lowen. He should just hire a full-time mailman already. In fact, he's earned himself a new nickname. Let's go with...
I'll have you know that poetry and letters were humanity's earliest means of... So, tone-deaf or not, I wear the title of Bard with pride. And I can...
Wait, really? Darn it! Maybe Paimon should come up with some harder-hitting nick...
Anyway, since this young man has come all the way to the Thousand Winds Temple looking for me...
You sure are. Do you...
This one is for the bard in green clothes. These days, I think he goes by... Doesn't really have an address as such. You could start by asking around in Mondstadt, or maybe try your luck at the Thousand Winds Temple.
I figured that since there was this punching bag here... Oh, sorry, Ruin Guard, I could get some practice in while I was at it. So...
That Varker is so slapdash sometimes. It's a good thing we happen to be near...
Oh, he also said to remind you to write back.
Nothing in particular. Just some idle chatter between two drinking buddies. But Verka gave you a whole bunch of letters to deliver, right? Maybe you can
My thoughts exactly. Assuming I can find the way. Hopefully the roads haven't changed too much since the pre-expedition days.
Well, why don't we have Mondstadt's honorary knight escort this homeward-bound wanderer to the city? I'm sure some of the recipients of Varka's letters will turn out to be old friends of yours, too.
Let's go! It's been a while since Paimon's done any
Thank you so much, honorary knight. And you, Miss Guy.
Misguide
'The Abyss, the Wild Hunt, Andreas.
เดี๋ยวนะแอนเดรียสนี่คือใคร
Get home safe, Varka.
Why do my... Surely there's no way anyone found the secret stash of cash in my office. That would be terrible.
Grandmaster, bad time to get distracted.
Watch out! Enemies approaching!
Huh? Oh, it's just a few stragglers. They're no real threat to us. This expedition is almost over. We just need to deal with these final few... We will make our triumphant...
อ่ะยังดื่มน้ำให้เล่นเลยเหรอ
On me!
Stormwind!
Maria sweeping in!
Stormwind!
On me!
ผมสงสัยว่าวาก้าจะผสมท่ายังไงหรือว่าต้องตามเพื่อนร่วมทีม
Sonari to direct them. It seems like all that's left is their...
If this is all that the Wild Hunt can muster now, surely the Lightkeepers of Nod...
Just like I thought. What we should be wearing...
Grandmaster, based on Lightkeeper intel and our own reconnaissance, one of the suspected targets should be...
Good. You know the drill. Stay here and stand guard.
Yes, Grandmaster!
We meet again, Andreas.
So, you've returned from Mondstadt. Don't you want to see what it looks like now? I was planning to take a look around there myself. Perhaps you could be my guide.
ใครคือแอนเดรียสเนี่ย
What's this? An echo from 1,000 years ago?
หรือว่าไอหมาป่าที่วูฟนั่น ใช่ไหม
Everything seems normal so far. Here's hoping I'm just overthinking things. It's your turn, my friend. Come, Andreas!
คืออะไรวะ
Although,
Oh, jingด้วย
returning to your old home, perhaps Andreas is a little too ostentatious.
Boreas.
Huh?
Injustice. Corruption. Iniquity. Is the surface world still as wretched and foul as ever? Answer me, heir to the knighthood of Boreas.
Looks like I'm not getting out of this without a fight.
อ้าว โอ้เพิ่งเปิดฉากเองด้วย ดูไหม
That's where things stand with the expedition. The victors will be returning home soon, so make sure to stock up on wine for the celebrations. P.S. I hope everyone's keeping up with their daily training. I'll be testing you all when I get back to make sure no one's regressed. P.P.S. I wrote individual letters for each and every one of you. Don't forget to write back.
Everyone gets one? Wow! Sir Writes a Lot is really living up to his name.
แต่มันก็ขยันเขียนจริงๆแหละ
I guess the Grand Master must have something specific to say to each of us. Even I got a letter, and I'm not a real knight yet. Jean?
เมื่อไหร่น้องโนเอลจะจุติเนี่ย
Oh, yes. That's our Grand Master for you.
By the way, anyone know where I can find the cavalry captain? I have a letter for him as well.
อ๋อ ยูรามิกะก็อยู่เนาะ
You mean Kaya? He said he was meeting a friend from the church at the Angel Share. Allegedly for work. Said he was exchanging intel. But I'd say there's a 50-50 chance he's just there for a drink.
ข่าวก็จะบทฟาวเนียก็มีเรื่องนึง
Mom bets there'll be lots of familiar faces there. How about we deliver Kaya's letter?
Really? Oh, that would be a great help.
Our thanks to you too, Lowen. The other knights will help distribute the remaining letters. You've had a long journey.
Great. But I won't be resting just yet. I have one last letter to deliver to Wolvendom. This one, I was planning on delivering personally.
อันนี้น่าจะไปส่งให้เรเซอร์หรือเปล่า ไม่ อาจจะส่งไปให้กับตัวของแอนเดรียสเนาะ เพราะว่าหมาป่าตัวนั้นที่เป็นบอริสคุยกับวาลกาเหมือนจะเป็นชื่อเก่าของมันเนาะ
I heard that another challenger recently passed Boreas' trial. Well, with any luck, that wolf might be willing to reveal himself to me, too.
Very well, but please remember to show respect to the local wolves.
I will. Goodbye.
ทำไมจีนดูกังวลวะ เฮ้ย ยูรา
He wants to test me to see if my skills have regressed? I still haven't forgotten how he went easy on me last time. I'm assuming you must have seen him going all out before. When the time comes, you'd better keep an eye on him for me.
คนแค้นนี่หว่า ฮะ ดู
The
โพสทำไม
Grand Master wrote in his letter that the boom blossom bombs we sent worked really well. He wants to know.
Uncle Martha's coming home? Yay! I can't wait to go outside and play with him.
ไอตัวนี้โดนกักบริเวณ ดูทรงแล้ว
The
Honorary Knight, you're still here?
Huh? But Vark is coming back.
True. From what you and Lowen have told me, it seems that Mondstadt no longer faces any threat from the perils of the North. And yet, for some reason, I can't help it.
If I don't make it back from this expedition, you'll have to assume the mantle of Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius. If it comes to that, remember to train the next Knight of Boreas in my stead. I've planted some promising seeds in Mondstadt, but they still need time to grow. Some have yet to master the art of social interaction. Some don't yet understand that they too need protecting. And some, well, some might not even want to be a knight yet. What's wrong? Well, there's no need to frown. I'm going on an expedition, not marching to my death. Until I return, I leave them in your care.
The lineage of the Knights of Boreas has nearly been extinguished twice in Mondstadt's history. The first wandering knight to claim the title arrived in Mondstadt 1,000 years ago, along with his wolf companion. He was as free as the wind. He left no succession plan behind. Even his name was lost to history. The title of Boreas could have disappeared from Mondstadt just as he did. But he had an informal disciple, a knight named Ravenwood, who admired the Knight of Boreas greatly. Ravenwood's valor and swordsmanship earned him when the old aristocracy tried to regain power. Ravenwood came once more to Mondstadt's defense. From then on, the title of Knight of Boreas was passed down from generation to generation within the Knights of Favonius.
Wolf spirit? You mean that big blue wolf in Wolfenden?
Correct. As you may already know, the Wolf of the North is the surviving spirit of an ancient god. And the Knight of Boreas serves as an intermediary between him and humanity. Lupus Boreas, who had never known what it meant to love, came to understand it through the journey with his human companion. In the end, he chose to allow his power to become one with the land. This was once a well-known tale in Mondstadt, but these days, few people are aware that the starting point of the Wolf King's journey was not Mondstadt, but—
Huh?
You don't seem surprised. Did you sense something in Nodcry? When the great Wolf King of the North came here from Nodcry, although he doesn't like to speak of his past. In fact, he rarely shows himself to people at all nowadays. As such, this tale can only be found deep within the Knights of Favonius library. Even the Grand Master didn't disclose any concrete objectives before departing on his expedition. I couldn't help but wonder whether it might somehow be related to Nodcry's Wolf of the North. I kept my speculations to myself, however. Sharing them would only spread unwarranted suspicion toward the four. You experienced the turmoil caused by Duval and the East Wind's actions for yourself. Surely you can understand my concern?
No wonder Varka wasn't clear about his motives. Is that what he was worried about?
Very possibly. He was probably also reserving judgment. Having heard about your experiences in Nodcry, I now suspect that the Grand Master hadn't, and as it turns out, the Calamity born in the North wasn't an ancient god, but rather the Wild Hunt and the Doctor. I guess we were both jumping to conclusions. Yes, I completely agree. The tide can turn rapidly in times of battle. It's a leader's responsibility to prepare for every possible, even if his contingency plan never needs to be put into action. I'm sure the Grand Master is relieved to know that it's in place.
สงสัยว่าใครจะได้เป็น Grand Master คนต่อไป แต่เดาว่าน่าจะ Racer เปล่าเพราะว่า
That turned into a pretty long conversation, huh? We should probably go deliver those letters to the angels here now.
Racer ก็เหมือนได้ทดสอบเหมือนกันเนาะถ้าจำไม่ผิดนะครับ
When you're mixing drinks in hot weather,
Start by pouring in cold water and add ice cubes. Then drain out the water before adding the other ingredients.
Please. I've known that little trick for a good 10 years at least. You'll have to—
I know there's no one else in the tavern right now, but do you two really need to talk so loudly? Especially—
Kaya! Rosaria! D-Luke! Paimon knew we'd find you here.
Looks like it's about to get even noisier.
A little liveliness never killed anyone. Traveler, Paimon, what brings you—
Please allow me to once again express my sincere condolences regarding your late father and the incident with Eric. I hope you will give some serious consideration to the question I asked you before I left, though I'm sure you're tired of hearing me ask by now. The Knights of Favonius will always welcome you.
From the look on your face, I'm guessing the Grand Master is still refusing to drop it?
He nags like an old man. It's hardly surprising.
Huh? Drop what?
Nothing, really. Before leaving on the expedition, Varka came here to chat with me over a drink. I failed to avoid him. He, asked me if I'd consider rejoining the Knights of Favonius, and I declined. He expressed his regret.
Yeah, right. Sounds like you skipped a lot of details.
Whatever details I chose to omit are in the past. Dragging them back up now serves no—
You say that now, but back then, you couldn't let it go. You and the Knights of Favonius were constantly at odds.
I wasn't seeing the full picture. I've had a lot, but my answer remains unchanged. I'm not rejoining the Knights of Favonius. Both the Grandmaster and the acting Grandmaster are too upright and honorable. I can't see the shadows that lurk beneath them due to the size of the organization they lead. They need someone on the outside to keep watch vigilantly.
If I had a Mora for every time I've heard you repeat that argument. I actually don't disagree with the first part of what you said, but
when you join an organization, you're bound by its rules, no matter how free it may seem on the surface.
You think so? Never mind the Knights. Have you honestly ever been bound by the rules of the Church?
Good question. Have you considered that maybe that's why I chose to join the Church and not the Knights to begin with?
Are they arguing or not? It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, kind of like the contingencies Jean was talking about.
What should I report back to the Grand Master on? Public order inside the city? Monster activity in the wild? Oh, and a review of the latest vintage.
แล้วคุยกับใครดีลุกเหรอดีลุก
My reply won't be a long one, as usual. I'm sure Varka won't be surprised.
Adventure. หรือว่าอยู่ชั้นสองอ๋อจริงด้วยโรซาเลีย
If you hadn't had to deliver that guy's mail, you wouldn't have been subjected to all this tedious arguing. When I write back, I'll tell him to quit making trouble for other people.
It's no trouble. Lowen did most of the work. We just volunteered to do the last leg of the journey. Mostly so we could come say hello.
So you see what's really going on here? All three of us fell for that old rascal's scheme far too readily.
Huh? Scheme? What do you mean? Was Varka lying in his—
No. While I'm sure Varka knows full well that D-Luke would never agree to rejoin the Knights, I believe the sentiments he expressed were genuine, as was his offer to welcome D-Luke back. There are people like Kaya and I, and then there are those who are true champions of justice to the core. Those people are the most susceptible to being driven to extremes by great upheaval. It's happened in Mondstadt before. Not only that,
but it happened to a knight of Boreas. That'll really hit home for Varka. And that's why his nagging is even more persistent than usual. Yeah. So no one's told you this before? The lineage of the Knights of Boreas had nearly been extinguished twice in history. The first was at its inception. The second...
Oh! Wasn't Jean telling us about this? Wait. And then we got caught up talking about the expedition?
I happened to hear about it from Varka once when he was drinking and started yammering on. The second crisis in the Knights of Boreas lineage. It was 500 years ago.
ช่วงคานเรียปะ500 ปีก่อน
Although the Knights of Boreas are meant to be intermediaries between humans and wolves, in practice, very few of them have been truly recognized by Lupus Boreas over the past millennium. Of those who have, the best known are the first Knight of Boreas, Ravenwood, the wolf pup Rostam, and Varka himself. But 500 years ago, there was one who earned the respect of Boreas even before gaining the title. He was a disciple of Rostam. They thought he would become the mightiest knight of Boreas who ever lived. He was the perfect knight. Righteous, principled. His name was Roland, the blood-stained knight.
อ๋อ เจ้าของ Artifact Bloodstain เอ้ยเท่ว่ะ
Yikes! Bloodstained Knight? That sounds a little,
Well, apparently his original title was the White Knight. But he lost countless comrades during the Abyssal Calamity 500 years ago, including his tutor and mentor, Rostam. The endless bloodshed stained his sword and armor a crimson as deep as black, transforming the White Knight into the Blood-Stained Knight. After that, he threw himself completely into battling monsters, leaving Mondstadt and the Knights of Favonius behind. To this day, no one knows his final whereabouts. It's hard to say whether the loss of an important figure in his life is what drove him to the point of obsession, or whether he was already too far gone to save. But had he known that the Knights of Favonius would always welcome him back, perhaps things would have turned out differently.
อ๋อ มันกลัวดีลูกเป็นเหมือนกับตัวของโรแลนด์เนาะ
So if you want my opinion, the reason why Varka keeps asking Diluc to rejoin, despite knowing that he'll never say yes? After all these years, he's still as persistent as ever. Just like how he used to be with me.
Huh. Turns out Varka's a lot more thoughtful than he lets on. Paimon had the wrong idea about him. Anyway, there's still something about this whole Boreas business that Paimon isn't really getting. If so, why did Jean say that Boreas and the Wandering Knight only arrived here just 1,000 years ago? Plus, Paimon's super curious about what happened to Roland. That's a great idea! Jean said he hasn't been showing himself much lately, but he always seems happy to oblige whenever you show up. Let's go! What's going on here? Was Wolfendom always like this? Paimon has a bad feeling about this. The Wild Hunt? What are they doing here? Watch out! Animal
Be silent.
แฮ่
Are you alright? Oh no! What now?
Stop right there! Answer me this. The 2 letters I gave you, who are they for?
2 letters? Wasn't it 3?
Okay. Well, Paimon's coolest naive expression doesn't appear to be an act.
Hey! What are you trying to say? Wait, Paimon passed a test?
You may dispense with your suspicions. The Wolfpack has borne witness. They fought against the aberrations that encroached upon this land. And our attacker showed no... a familiar scent.
Well, if the boss of Wolvendom has vouched for you, I guess I should apologize for doubting you just now.
Sure was.
Fortunately, my experience in Nodcry didn't go to waste. Turns out the Wild Hunt all feel the same when you stab them. They didn't stand a chance. Something seems wrong with that old wolf, though. Go on.
อยากรู้เหมือนกันว่าอันเดรียสเป็นอะไรเลเซอร์ก็อยู่
Lupus Boreas, not injured. Why so weak?
You are not to blame. With your Iron Claw, you successfully blocked their attacks. They followed my trail from the distant north across the ley lines. They sought to corrupt the territory I protect. We meet again, human Lupical.
So, are you saying that the Wild Hunt we just got attacked by...
As you know, I stand before you as an incomplete being. I am but one remnant of the god Andreas' soul. The source of this turmoil. I can sense it. It lies in the north.
Huh? Now Paimon's even more confused. How can he be in 2 places at once?
For many gods, housing a part of their soul within an object is no difficult feat. But those who can perform such delicate partitions as this are rare, even among the gods. The Wolf King, Andreas, was particularly adept in this art. Otherwise, no remnants of his soul would have survived till the present.
Huh? The bard's back?
Tone Deaf Bard? What are you...
Maybe the god of Animo guided me here. For it appears that someone is in need of a tale from the distant past. And our wolf friend doesn't seem too keen on recounting it him. Who better than a bard to do the honors? Lord Boreas, do I have your blessing to share this story? Lupus Boreas wandered the frozen tundra and stumbled into the Sealy Hall. Enchanted by their song, tender as the dawn starlight, and curious about the ways of humankind, the wolf bade farewell to his home and set off for the city to the south. As the high tower crumbled and the fierce winds fell silent, Lupus Boreas, who once had hunted with the storm winds himself, looked within and inquired, was the shelter he provided for humanity really any different from that given by the reclusive king in his tower? The wolf entrusted those under his protection to a new god and quietly returned to the frozen north. There, in a palace long since abandoned by its former master, the great wolf closed his eyes and slept.
Boreas นี่เป็นเพื่อนกับเลเวนวูฟเนาะ1,000 ปีก่อน
500 bitter winters passed, then 500 equally frigid springs. He slumbered undisturbed until a night stumbled in from the cold, just as Lupus Boreas had once done at the Sealy Hall, and awoke him at long last. The night asked the wolf to join him on a journey south, to see once more the land that had all but faded from his memory. The gentle wolf, unwilling to refuse the human's earnest plea, split his soul into two halves and left his home once more. Seeing how the ice and snow had given way to verdant plains, hearing the laughter and song that now filled the once somber city, the aging Lupus Boreas turned to his friend, the god of Animo. So, this is the world the humans dreamed of. Though the knight's journey was not yet over, the wolf chose to bid farewell to his companion here. He had written the end to his story. What knowledge he had been gifted flowed into the land. Everything he was, he gave unto the world. Well, that's how a bard would tell the tale. Lord Boreas, is there anything you'd like to add?
There is no need for you to ask that question.
So that's what happened. You returned to Mondstadt with that knight 1,000 years ago, and then, for the sake of the new Mondstadt,
You need not feel remorse on my account. That was my answer. If anyone should feel regret, it is the part of me who remained in Notcry. I fear Andreas has not found. That is surely why those vile aberrations were able to exploit his weakness.
But we followed Boreas' trail in Notcry. We investigated and discovered no...
Andreas should still be slumbering by the lakeside. Perhaps all the recent turmoil in And there's more. I detect another familiar scent from across the ley line.
Oh!
I remember him as just a man. His lifespan should be no longer than any other of his kind. But before he severed his connection to Boreas, his final destination.
ผมขอย้อนแบนแป๊บนึงนะครับตอนที่ไพมอนพูดผมเผลอกดไป
It was the ancient kingdom of Conria, as you call it.
If you want to get to the bottom of this, I'm afraid you'll have to make another trip to Nodcry yourselves. As luck would have it, another old friend of ours just so happens to be free right now.
No wonder I can suddenly sense the east wind's presence.
If even Mondstadt has been affected by the fallout, Nodcry must be in real trouble by now. I hope Varka can handle it.
Varka? Is he...
I believe too many passengers would slow our dear friend down. I fear he only has room to carry one person, along with...
All right. Wish it could be me, but I accept that we should send our strongest warrior to fight Notcry. I'll stay here and deal with any wild hunt that try harassing Mondstadt. It'll be a good chance to try out some new moves.
โลเฮนก็น่าจะรู้เนาะเพราะว่ามันก็อยู่ที่นอตไกลเหมือนกัน
I stay in Mondstadt too. With Traveler's help, Varka will be safe.
Razor, give me your iron claw. Golden-haired traveler, give this token to the current knight of Boreas. It is a wolf spirit. It contains my power and thoughts.
The Dominator of Wolves once bestowed the power of his soul upon his pack, strengthening their hearts and sharpening their claws and fangs.
But human hearts and flesh cannot bear the soul of a wolf directly. It would be akin to forcefully merging a human and a wolf into one being. To prevent the entanglement of souls, the most I can do is temporarily house my power and thoughts with... Although, truth be told, that knight does not lack for power. What he needs more is the thoughts within. The Great Wolf King of the North remains strong for now. Besides,
I will protect Lupakal. The North and Varka, I leave to you.
Just give me the word whenever you're ready. Any questions before you set off? Better ask now. You'll probably have to hit the ground running when you get to
ควินติ
Nodcraft.
น่าจะรู้จักโรแลนอยู่เนาะ
500 years ago, Roland seemed destined to become the mightiest knight of Boreas ever to have lived. He believed firmly in his own ideals of chivalry, vowing to eliminate all injustice from the world. But the world had neither his mentor, the wolf pup Rostam, nor the Grand Master, known as the Lion of Light, could persuade him to temper his obsession. But what was the scent that reeks of blood that Lupus Boreas sensed? And what is its connection to Conria and the Abyss? Perhaps you will uncover any questions before you set off? Better ask now.
ผมอยากรู้แค่เรื่องของโร
Probably
แล
have
น
to
นะ
hit the ground running when you get to... All right. Over to you, Dvalin.
The Knight of Boreas awaits below. We must part ways here. Barbatos and I have other...
Alright! Hey, wait! How are we getting down?
โคตรเท่ เฮ้ยเอาเฮ้ย พี่ฟินกูตกตายซะมั้งเนี่ย
Hold the line! The enemy's on the brink of collapse!
เฮ้ย เท่เหรอบอกกัน
Grandmaster!
Haha! Reinforcements! It's about time!
And Paimon too!
We're just about hanging in there. Most of their grunts are taken care of now. Fight or flight? What will it be, mightiest knight of Boreas?
as expected, this hastily summoned Wild Hunt horde is nothing but a disorganized rabble. A mere shadow of the forces but they have served their purpose. I now understand your tactics, and you, in turn, understand mine. This is fair. This is the way of chivalry. Farewell, heir to the knighthood of Boreas. Whether you choose to resist me or not, I shall set right the injustices of this world.
ฮะ
In the name of the blood-stained night.
อ้าว สรุปโรแลนเป็นคนไม่ดีเหรอตอนนี้ นึกว่าเป็นคนที่แบบคล้าย
Guess they're retreating
ๆค
for
ล้ายๆดีลุก
now.
เฉย
So that Wolf of the North look-alike, that was Andreas? But why would he be leading the... forget that. We can save the details for later.
There's no point chasing after him. We've crossed blades already, and it ended in a stalemate. Right now, there's nothing true. We're still not certain of his true identity, but whether he's a god corrupted by killing him might be just about possible. Especially now that you're here. The difficult part is, we can't kill him right now.
Huh? What do you...
No. Judging from our skirmishes so far, I don't think he's got any special abilities of that caliber. But, compared to Rerir, our current foe clearly has a better understanding of how to exploit Nodcry to his advantage. Particularly when it comes to Andreas's remnant soul. Exactly. Sounds like you realize what I managed to cut off a sample from our foe, which Albedo and Durin are analyzing as we speak. Meanwhile, our other allies should be making their way home from their own battles by now. We still have some big challenges ahead before this expedition can finally be declared a victory.
ส่งไป20ละแล้วก็ดันมีการันตีด้วย ใจคอไม่ดีว่ะถ้าจะสุ่มต่ออันนี้คืออะไรอ่ะอืมแป๊บหนึ่งนะครับแป๊บหนึ่งนะผมขอดูอะไรแป๊บหนึ่งพอเห็นกาชาตู้นี้แล้วแอบคิดเล็กน้อยถึงปานกลางว่าตัวของอัลเบโดเนี่ยน่าจะเอาไปเล่นกับใครดีแล้วน้องคลีล่ะน้องคลีก็ไม่รู้ว่าจะน่าสุ่มอยู่ไหมแต่ผมยังไม่ได้สุ่มตู้นี้หรอกครับกำลังคิดอยู่ไม่เป็นไรปัญหาคือมันมีเรื่องคาดชะตาด้วย
Probably gonna be in the biggest tent, right? Looks like a bunch of people are there already. Why don't we go chat with them?
เฮ้ยอยู่กันหมดเลยจาโฮด้าฟลินอินเนฟาอ๋อเขาเป็นแฟนกันเนาะจาโฮด้าอินเนฟาน่าจะอยู่ด้วยกันอยู่แล้วล่ะเพราะมันเป็นคู่เกย์ โอเคมา
Hey, Honorary Knight. Looks like pretty much everyone's... Oh, Beto and Durin are just wrapping up their analysis. You want to wait for them here? Great. While we're waiting, could you update me on the situation? And that's where things stand. The Wild Hunt is no longer under the Reikir of Solnari's control, but it has been reborn from the ashes and is now launching widespread attacks. Intel from the Frostmoon Scions and the Curatorium of Secrets corroborates this. No disturbances have been detected in the space where Rere resides. What we are
Summarizing current situation. To confirm, the present leader of the Wild Hunt is the creature resembling a wolf. Andreas.
More precisely, it's the external will that has seized control of Andreas' spirit, namely Roland, the Bloodstained Knight.
Whoa. Hold on. I'm completely lost. How'd he suddenly get wrapped up with a god from 1,000 years in the past?
Allow us to explain that part. Are you familiar with compensation mechanisms? When an organism sustains damage, relevant tissues will undergo changes to offset the loss of function. For example, when one kidney is damaged, the other will be strengthened to compensate. Or, when a main artery is blocked, the collateral vessels become more active. Similarly, when the Wild Hunt lost their leader, the Abyss harnessed the memories that flow throughout the ley lines to fashion a new one, fit for the present circumstances. That new leader is a mirror image of Roland, the Bloodstained Knight.
Right. No matter how strong the compensation is, it will never quite match the functionality of the original organ. The Roland replica can't possibly imitate Barrier's overwhelming power, nor his ability to disguise himself as others. So, the Abyss made use of the connection between Roland and Boreas to compensate for this
The replica corrupted and took control of Andreas as he slumbered by the bank of Eimsvartnir, ultimately manifesting as the giant beast that you all witnessed. However, exactly why the Abyss chose Roland to mimic, and indeed how it was able to do so, remains...
I guess he must have gotten caught up with the Abyss or Nodcry somehow during his wanderings through Tevat. But we can keep those questions on the back burner.
Okay, Paimon gets all that, but what did you mean when you said we can't kill him right now?
We can't kill him right now because a dead god may prove more dangerous than a living one. From intelligence gathered during the expedition, we have reason to believe that the power released when a god is felled can have catastrophic consequences for us mortals. Worse still, the wrath that remains after a god's passing becomes a source of endless turmoil. Once god remains contaminate the land, they will persist for thousands of years. This land has already been ravaged by the Wild Hunt. If we add god remains to the mix, it'll be like adding salt to an open wound, placing everyone who lives here in perilous danger.
Query. While I can indeed find records of disasters caused by god remains in my database, there also appear to be cases of god in that land. The passing of the Pyro Archon's flame is a common occurrence throughout history, and even the part of Andreas who remains in Mondstadt has
Great question. Glad you asked. Honorary Knight, you said Lupus Boreas gave you a token to pass on to me? Please, present it now. Come forth, Boreas!
This form has come to the end of its time. My soul will fall into silence, and my power will flow into the ley lines of this land. Do not grieve for me, for this is the end I have chosen. A final wish before I slumber.
You saw it too. You must have keen powers of perception. Not that it surprises me. That was Boreas's final thoughts before merging with the ley lines. It's the reason Mondstadt remains unharmed by his god remains. In his final moments, he made a choice to give everything he was to the ley lines. All to protect Mondstadt from harm.
Sounds like Andreas spent thousands of years searching for his place in the world.
Yes. And now our task is to return the answer he found, the decision he made, to Andreas' heart. Only then can he break free from the corruption and control of the Abyss, and make that decision once more.
I see. I would say that planting thoughts inside the mind of a god sounds a little far-fetched, but since it was his own wish to begin with, it sounds feasible to me.
Wait, we already have a perfect solution? Then why are we even
Ha ha ha. If only it were that simple. Unfortunately, this one thought alone is unlikely to be powerful enough to break through the Abyss's control, and we need to find a way to make the thought within this sword stronger and more resilient.
For now, Boreas needs all his remaining strength to fight against the abyssal corruption to Mondstadt's ley lines. He can't. However, since his form was unstable during his journey with the first Knight of Boreas, many wolf spirit fragments were left behind along the way. If we can collect those fragments, we can use them to strengthen the decision to merge with the ley lines.
So we need to retrace his steps and look for random fragments?
You don't need to worry about that. There's a few fragments left to gather in Nodcry. Most of them are already inside this sword. I've been collecting them during the whole expedition.
อ๋อเหตุผลที่วาลก้าเดินทางมาที่นอตคลายเนี่ยก็คือเก็บเศษไอ้นี่ด้วย
Huh? Wait, really?
I mean, it's an expedition, not a stroll in the park. Each step of the way, we've been hard at work planning for every possible contingency. Not just the wild hunt in the abyss, but ancient gods remaining in Nodcry.
Sounds like this plan was a long time in the making. It's almost as if you...
As a matter of fact, I did. I caught a glimpse of fate's reflection. But I can't take credit for it. It was all thanks to the help of a few friends.
กระจกส่องดาว
Still,
ใครวะ
all I foresaw was that an abyssal calamity was brewing in the north. Had I known more, we could have saved a lot of energy. Instead, we've had to make best guesses, prepare for every possible scenario. If all that preparation went to waste, all the better for it. Sure is. Just one crucial step remains. We need to gather the last few wolf spirit fragments scattered around Nodcry, and use them to make the thought within this sword as strong as it could possibly be. According to what Boreas told me before we left Mondstadt, his form was at its most unstable at the beginning of his journey. That means the fragments here should be the most powerful ones. But of course, we've been tied up fighting battles since the day we set foot in Nodcry. First with the Wild Hunt, then with the Doctor. So, it wasn't until recently that we were finally able to confirm the status of the Wolf Spirit fragments. We now...
Okay, so 3 more mini-expeditions to go.
I managed to gather one fragment before Roland reappeared. I also have a confirmed location for the second, which I'll take. As for the third fragment, we've identified a general search area to focus on. But we'll need all... The final snag is that since our foe is a replica of Roland, he too will be aware of Andrias' history. He's sure to try and sabotage our plans by any means at his disposal.
With our foe being from Mondstadt, it's our duty as
And since the Wild Hunt is involved, the Lightkeepers will provide...
The Clink Clink Krumkake craft shop will also help in any way we can.
So what do they need me here for? Wait, I think maybe I signed a contract at some point. Didn't exactly scrutinize it though. I mean, who actually reads those things anyway?
Ah, great. Knew I could count on you all. Lastly, our friend from the Curatorium of Secrets will provide intel and relay battlefield...
So, you'll be darting back and forth across the battlefield, dodging the Wild Hunt and the shadow of an ancient god.
Rating for Yehoda updated. Higher quality ingredients will be used to prepare your future meals.
Darn it! I should have known this payday wouldn't come that easy.
I'll deal with the second Wolf Spirit fragment, which we already know the location. Traveler, could you join me in retrieving Fragment 2? I have a feeling that your unique constitution might come in handy. All right, time is of the essence. Let's move out, people.
แต่ต้องยอมรับนะว่าวาลก้าในบทที่จะจริงจังเนี่ยก็คือดูพึ่งพาได้จริงๆนะคือแบบเหมือนทุกอย่างคิดไว้แล้วทุกอย่างเตรียมไว้แล้วแล้วก็พร้อมที่จะเริ่มโปรเซสการทำงานได้เลยเดี๋ยวผมขอเบรกสักแป๊บนึงนะครับขอไปเข้าห้องน้ำแป๊บนึงเดี๋ยวมานะครับ โอเคครับ ขอโทษครับ มาต่อแล้ว
Didn't you say Fragment 2 was supposed to be right here? Where the heck is it?
Seems like we've run into a slight hindrance. Can I leave this to you, Honorary Knight? Traveler, Paimon, when this is all over, I'm gonna invite you around for a drink of...
Whoa, whoa! Stop thinking about Mondstadt's wine and keep your head in the game! You can't be daydreaming about alcohol before a battle!
อ๋อ โอเค
Huh? Well, all right, just trying to lift our spirits a little. You want to see some photos I took of me and the knights before the expedition, maybe?
Shut up, shut up, shut up! Can't we please just focus on finding the wolf spirit fragment?
หนูอย่าเดินสิ เอ็งจะเดินทำไมอ่ะ เอ้า ไอ้เฮียขยันเดินด้วยนะ ขยันเดินด้วยนะ
Is this what we're looking for?
I once got Boreas to explain to me how he stores his soul inside objects. All I need to do is transfer it to my sword. Just like back at the camp, but this time, you'd best step back and...
So, you're saying you don't know how to love people, and you don't understand human love either. Sorry, I just think the fact you're ruminating on this is all the proof you need that you have love in your heart. I have a funny feeling that by the time this journey ends, you'll have found your own answer to the question.
No, you're wrong. There is no redemption at the end of this path. Even if I am stained black with blood, my conscience will remain as white as snow. If pledging allegiance to the Abyss is the only way to sever the injustice of fate, then I shall serve in its name.
Oh, sure enough, this place has been corrupted by Roland's will. Whew. I'm fine. I was prepared for this. It wasn't enough to pose a serious threat. We got here just in time. The fragment hasn't been fully corrupted yet. Assuming we can undo the damage, it should still be usable. Purifying the abyssal corruption would definitely be a safe approach. Could you try reversing the corruption? Not purifying it, exactly, but separate...
Keep the Roland part intact as...
Firstly, to test whether it's possible. And secondly, to view Roland's memories. As they say, know thyself, know thy enemy. Understanding our foe is our surest path to... Let me think. How was it explained to me? Ah, yes. Focus on a single thought within the 1,000 winds. Ha 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 ha! Actually, neither do I.
Huh. Sounds like something a certain tone-deaf bard would come up with when he can't think of anything meaningful to sing.
I thought it might mean something to you. Never mind. I'll explain it in more human terms. Traveler, when you were in Natland, you went fishing for ancient names, correct? If I'm not mistaken, the Night Kingdom was like a river flowing with concepts, and you were trying to capture the concept belonging to a particular ancient name.
Okay, but back then, we had a bow and a net. This time, we don't have anything at all.
This wolf spirit fragment is like a puddle compared to the Night Kingdom. No need for a boat. As for a net, this is what I've heard.
Thoughts and emotions are like interwoven threads. They can create a net, or they can create a rope. They can separate love from hatred, and they can bind all. Thought is the anchor for a being's existence, through which emotions are drawn forth.
Also, we barely know anything about Roland. How are we supposed to use thoughts to anchor him?
Well, maybe you could try this.
What is it? It looks old and...
It's an unsent letter, written by the wolf pup Rostam, Knight of Boreas, from 500 years ago. It was meant for his disciple, the White Knight Roland. After Rostam lost his life in the Abyssal Calamity, Roland left Mondstadt to wander to Vat. Grandmaster Arundel had wanted to deliver this letter to him. But trying to track Roland down was like chasing a shadow. He never did find him. And so this letter has been sitting at the Knights of Favonia's headquarters ever since.
Quite the antique, then. But how...
Yeah.
Hey, what happened to Mr. Plans for every contingent...
What can I say? Some people like to wait till they've got all their ducks in a row before taking the first step, but I prefer to dive on in and plan as I go. But anyway, don't they say that poetry and letters were humanity's earliest means of expressing their thoughts? Can't hurt to give it a try, surely. Whoa.
You really are making this up as you go along.
So the assimilation of souls really can be reversed, just like he said.
If what you say is the monsters I've slain, the justice I've sought to uphold, a great and ancient kingdom was wrongfully cursed, turning its inhabitants into monsters! The code of chivalry tolerates not such injustice. If Abyss be thy name, I pledge to you my loyalty.
And that is where the blood-stained knight's tale came to an end. With that, he bade his humanity farewell. I dare say you must find it quite ironic, Knight of Boreas.
That I... Dainsleif? No. Who bore a striking... While we gazed into the past, he was gazing right back at us. Could it be? So that's what happened. After leaving Mondstadt and wandering the land, Roland ventured underground and saw a revelation from the Visionary. Once he had learned of Conria's fate, he saw the gods' judgment as the greatest injustice. So he surrendered himself to the Abyss, giving them his knowledge, his power, his everything. That's why the Abyss...
Uh-oh. Does this mean we have to take on the Visionary this time?
I'm inclined to agree. If our enemy could see the future, both the Wild Hunt and Roland would be acting with far more lethal precision. But even without the Visionary's input, Roland still has an intel advantage we can't afford to underestimate. Every minion of the Wild Hunt serves as Roland's eyes and ears. We need to think one step ahead if we want to outmaneuver him. And on that note, I have a plan I want to discuss with you. Well, the fewer people who know, the less likely it is to get leaked. Besides, it wasn't a fully formed plan back then. That about covers it. Sorry to ask so much of you again. No plan is free of risks. At least this one actually gives us a shot at fully eliminating the danger posed by this ancient god. Surely that's got to make the risk worth taking. If I fail, Anselm and Albedo can take the reins. Not to mention we still have Jean in Mondstadt.
Oh, there has to be another way! Like a...
If only there were. But I don't think our enemy will give us enough time to find one.
Hey! Are you guys done here yet?
Ah, Yehoda! Yes, we've successfully...
Nope. It's a total disaster! More Wild Hunt monsters than I've seen in...
Come on, we're out of time. You'll just have to trust me on this one. What can I say? I'm not the Grand Master for nothing. I'm counting on you, Honor.
โอเค ผมว่าผมเบรกไว้แค่นี้ก่อนดีกว่า เพราะว่ามันเตือนมาแล้วว่ามันจะใช้เวลาพอสมควร เดี๋ยวเราค่อยไปต่อพรุ่งนี้ดีกว่า มา ระหว่างนี้เราไปทำอะไรจิตปะทะกันก่อนดีกว่าเนาะ เพราะว่าเดี๋ยวมันจะ4 ทุ่มแล้ว เดี๋ยวผมจะใช้เวลานานเกินไปเนาะ ไม่อยากให้กินเวลานานเกินครับ ไม่งั้นเดี๋ยวมันจะนี่เกินไป
Gather! Go get it, Maiden! Stabilize! On the way!
Without further ado, light the dust!
เดี๋ยวผมจ่าย BP ไปเลยดีกว่า เพราะว่าเดี๋ยวยังไงเราก็ต้องซื้อ BP อยู่แล้วอ่ะ แป๊บนึงนะครับ ผมขอปิดหน้าจอแป๊บหนึ่ง โอเค แป๊บหนึ่งนะ ผมกำลังคิดอยู่ว่าผมจะปั้นใครต่อ
เ
เลล่าละกัน อย่างน้อยน้องก็เป็นโปรไฟล์ของผมเนาะ1 โลหวานเจี๊ยบยังไงก็ได้ชุดฟรีครับอัศจรรย์พันดาราเนี่ยคริสตัลนี้เอามาจากไหนอ๋อ อบมากเลยน่ารักมากโอ้แต่สกินนี้สวยอะแต่ผมไม่ค่อยเล่นตัวของอัศจรรย์พันดาราเท่าไหร่ อ๋อ มันคือเอาไว้สุ่มอันนี้เนาะอ๋อ ต้องไปซื้อที่นี่ เล่นอัศจรรย์พันดาราดีกว่า ในเมื่อเราก็ไม่ได้ทำอะไรเนาะ ผมรู้แล้ว อันนี้คืออะไรอ่ะไอ้นี่เอาไปใช้อะไรต่อ Abyss Survival Ice Fishing อ๋อ ผมยังไม่ได้เทสวาก้าเลย มา เดี๋ยวขอดูหน่อยว่าวาก้าเป็นยังไงบ้างคำอธิบายตัวละครนะครับ ก็วาก้าเป็นตัวละครสายโจมตีธาตุลมเนาะเขาสามารถใช้ดาบคู่เนี่ยสร้างความเสียหายประเภท ของธาตุเนี่ยที่แตกต่างกันตามการจัดการของทีมนะครับ ซึ่งในระหว่างการทดลองใช้ตัวละครของวาก้านั้น จะเปิดใช้งาน ของการมีตัวละครมนตรา 2 ตัวที่อยู่ในทีมเป็นค่าเริ่มต้นและสามารถข้ามการตั้งค่าเพื่อเปิดเอฟเฟกต์สร้างความเสียหายประเภทที่แตกต่างทั้งหมดได้สกิลธาตุหลังจากที่ปล่อยสกิลธาตุไปวอลก้าเนี่ยจะเข้าสู่โหมดพิเศษก็คือสตรัมอะไรอะสตรัมแดงเหรอสตรัมดรังขนาดขอเรียกว่าโหมดพิเศษแล้วกันนะครับ ผมไม่อยากเรียกแบบผิดๆแล้วกันอ่ะตอนเข้าโหมดพิเศษเนี่ยการโจมตีปกติและการชาร์จโจมตีความเสี่ยงจากการโจมตีปกติและการชาร์จโจมตีจะเพิ่มขึ้นนอกจากนี้ดาบใหญ่ทั้งสองเล่มเนี่ยจะสร้างความเสี่ยงท่าที่สอดคล้องกันตามการตั้งค่าของทีมก็คือเป็นลมกับอีกธาตุหนึ่งที่ผสมได้ตามลำดับเรียงตามลำดับก็คือไฟมาก่อนเนาะไม่ว่าจะมีตัวไหนก็ตามไฟน้ำไฟฟ้าแล้วก็น้ำแข็งไฟน้ำไฟฟ้าและน้ำแข็งหลังจากผ่านไประยะหนึ่งวาก้าจะสามารถปล่อยสกิลธาตุพิเศษและการชาร์จโจมตีจะส่งพลังขึ้นนอกจากนี้เมื่อโจมตีปกติโดนศัตรูจะช่วยลดระยะเวลาที่ต้องใช้ในการปล่อยดังกล่าวลงเมื่อกดค้าง เมื่อกดค้างของสกิล EX จะกระโจนไปข้างหน้าใช้พลังกระโดดฟาดไม้ตายฟาดโจมตีอย่างทรงพลังไปข้างหน้าสร้างความเสียหายลง2 ครั้งหากมีตัวละครที่เป็นธาตุไฟน้ำไฟฟ้าหรือน้ำแข็งการฟาดโจมตีครั้งแรกจะเป็นการสร้างความเสียหายค่าที่สอดคล้องกันตามลำดับ
Weapons need regular.
อ๋อ คือไอการกดค้างเนี่ยก็สามารถกดได้ให้ดูจากขวาล่าง
Going in! Let's light it up! Turning point in! Time for takeoff! Let's play!
Maria sweeping in! Story has only just...
Everybody stand back! Think you can get away? Brace yourselves!
โอเคเดี๋ยวผมพอแค่นี้ก่อนดีกว่าเพราะจะ4 ทุ่มแล้วด้วยเนาะแต่วันนี้ก็ขอบคุณทุกคนที่เข้ามาดูเหมือนเดิมนะครับถ้าเกิดมีคำหยาบคายตรงไหนในระหว่างตอนไลฟ์เนี่ยก็ขออภัยด้วยเนาะสำหรับวันนี้ก็ฝันดีนะครับทุกคนเจอกันพรุ่งนี้เดี๋ยวพรุ่งนี้มาไลฟ์ต่อ EP ที่ 2นะครับสำหรับวันนี้บ๊ายบายครับ